Hey there, my friend. My name is Geeta, and welcome to Yoga with Geeta, your mini class on building strength with yoga. My purpose in recording all of these videos is to give you the best of integral yoga and show you how to use it in everyday life so that you can feel more peaceful, more easeful, and more useful. So here's how the class is going to run. I'm going to give you a little yoga philosophy and technique, and we'll talk about that for a moment. Then we'll put that into action in a very short standing series, very short. And if standing's not an option, you can absolutely do it seated, no problem whatsoever. And then at the very end, I'll give you some examples of how to take that short practice and those concepts and that philosophy and sprinkle it throughout your day. One of my yoga students said, I've learned to use yoga sprinkles throughout my day. So in that way, she said, my life is filled with yoga and I love it. So I hope the same for you too, because it doesn't have to be complicated. So let's talk about this concept today. Yoga, philosophy, and strength. Let's examine it through the gaze that in yoga they call Drishti. It's a Sanskrit word, which is the original language of yoga. And Drishti, loosely translated, means gaze. It can also mean a particular viewpoint or a particular outlook. But let's use it for that more physical manifestation today, gaze. You have 12 muscles that control the movement of your eyes. And think about how often those 12 muscles are pulled in all different directions. They're fed with images of violence. They're fed with images of other people's lives. I'm thinking of social media scrolling. They're filled with all kinds of images of just other people, other situations, constantly being bombarded. And in yoga, a lot of times we have this viewpoint about the viewpoint, which is that if we don't use these 12 muscles to direct our gaze in a way that is building our energy, we have to be very careful that those 12 muscles to direct our gaze aren't being used in a way that depletes our energy. I mean, come on, we can all relate. After you've watched like one of those movies on one of those enormous IMAX screens, you leave a little bit and you leave the theater and you have to blink and kind of reorient yourself to the physical world, right? It's a lot. If you've ever focused on your Zoom screen too long or your computer too long, you can probably relate to that, or got caught in the Facebook or Instagram scroll and then you leave and you feel frazzled. That's partly because you're allowing your drishti, your gaze, to be distracted, unfocused, and the physical movements of your eyes to be uncoordinated. So the good news is you can flip that and you can direct your gaze at objects that will help you to build energy. In yoga, we call energy prana. It's that fundamental life force of the universe. It's that thing that makes us alive. In traditional Chinese practice, they'll call that qi. But it's this fundamental prana, this energy that you can deplete by having your drishti, your gaze, go to all sorts of things that are really either irrelevant or overly draining for you. Or you can use that drishti to build power. So let's build power. So how we do that, and strength, how we do that is we're going to use a drishti today, a very focused gaze. So grab something that you have in the room around you, preferably something from the natural world. Or you can just get near a window and gaze at a tree, a flower, a shrub, a cloud. Cloud might be hard if it's moving or try to have a steady gaze. If you don't have anything, don't worry. Just grab something that you can use as a placeholder and then try this technique later with something from the natural world. I'm going to use this beautiful hunk of rose quartz. Isn't she lovely? And here's the idea with the drishti. The idea with the drishti is during our standing or seated balance and strength practice, you're going to hold your gaze, your drishti, very solidly on your beautiful object of nature. In doing so, not only are you coordinating those 12 muscles of the eyes to be steady, that in turn coordinates your brain activity because your eyes connect directly to your brain through that optic nerve. So you're already coordinating the vision centers of the brain and regulating your mind, your emotions, your thoughts. Then from that place of steady gaze, steady drishti, you're also bringing in the energy of the object that you're gazing at. So instead of gazing at a screen or lots of distracting or disturbing images, you're looking at the fundamental ground source of being, something of nature, and using that to fill you with energy, which in turn, combined with the steady gaze and the steady mind, from there you can easily build strength because you're gazing at something powerful. You're keeping your gaze powerful yet soft. And from there, asking the physical body to be strong becomes much easier. And then you have true strength because your mind and your body are coordinated in service of something higher, rather than just pushing through and doing burnout exercise and depleting yourself. So let's stand up, or if you're sitting, get to where you can have both feet firm on the floor and get yourself settled. So I'm going to move to standing. Give me 1 sec. So whether you're seated or standing, just get your feet to where they're flat on the floor and make sure that the object you're looking at can be right sort of at eye level. This is great to do right in front of a window, and just find something to look out the window that is from the natural world. That does a beautiful job. And just start by just standing simply. And let's build some strength here first through the eyes. So allow your drishti, your gaze, to rest on your object of concentration. Keep the eyes very steady on that point. And for a moment, think that you have like eagle eyes and you're really trying to focus in on that object, almost like you can make out every little detail, that feeling maybe of squinting a little bit. Really zero in, as if you could peer into the essence of that object. And then let your gaze soften and become very relaxed. You're still looking at your object of concentration, but the gaze is very soft, almost as if you could allow that image to just come to you and allow the energy of that natural object to just come to you, and trust that your physical body will harmonize with nature when you simply soften the gaze and allow the fullness of your being to experience that object of your focus. Now, keeping your gaze there, slowly begin rocking on your feet forward and backward. Start to wake up the bottom of the feet, and if you're in the chair, you just roll through from heels to toes, keeping your eyes on your point of concentration. But with that soft gaze, rocking back and forth, feeling that the floor is massaging the feet, and now go side to side, allowing the foot to be massaged by the floor. It's great if you can kick off socks and shoes. If it's a cold floor, put those socks back on though. And check for any imbalances. Think that you're evening out through the feet. And now do some circles, slow circles around, rolling through the heels, the outer edges of the foot, through the toes and around. Go the other way. Keeping your drishti, your gaze steady, naturally drawing in the energy of your point of concentration. And then slow that movement down and slowly build some strength by picking up the toes, spreading them wide. That will activate the arches of the feet, and then set the toes back down. Feel as though your feet have roots and they can reach into the earth. And the crown of your head is like the top of a tree, and it can just rise up to the sky. And in between, the body is very soft and relaxed. This simple technique of aligning the posture by rocking on the feet, letting the feet relax into the earth and the crown of the head rise, can be done anywhere at any time. Combined with the drishti is very powerful for bringing steadiness to the body and mind. Now shift weight onto the left leg and slowly roll the right heel up until you're on the ball of the right foot and the tip toe. This may be enough for your balance here. You can always have a hand on a chair, or you can do it with a hand on your fireplace, or just even a finger sometimes is enough. Wherever you are, keep that steady gaze. Keep the weight into that standing leg, and slowly see if that right leg can raise up, flexing that ankle of that flying leg, knowing that you can put it down at any time. This will build a lot of strength and stability in that standing leg, works the lower core, the lower abdomen, low back. You can bring up that knee to wherever it feels good. Hands can be next to the body. If you're seated, they can be on the legs, or you can do prayer position. Whatever you do, keep your gaze steady, building strength and stability in the standing leg. Push through, root through into the floor, crown of the head raises. The gaze is soft, but steady. Inhale and draw in the energy of the world on that inhale. Exhale and relax. Slowly release the foot down and repeat to the second side. Now the weight comes into the right leg, rolling up through the toe. Either staying there on the toe and just being steady here, or letting it float up or down. See what works for you. But really just working here, steadiness of the gaze, steadiness of that standing leg, trusting that that is enough to start to build that slow strength that will never burn you out, but will always build energy mentally through the gaze, physically through the gaze, physically through the standing, but also energetically, because you're drawing in that energy of your point of focus of nature into the body, even as you do this isometric exercise of standing. So you're powering up your movements with the power of the whole universe. And then slowly release that down. And then let's just do one more little thing here. Let's bring the weight onto the left leg again and just begin circling out. Notice that my toe is staying on the floor and I'm moving from the hip. Just getting a little lubrication in here for the next time. So it's not one of these wonky, just whatever. Gaze is focused. Whole leg is moving as one piece, and slow. Concentrate. Go the other way. You know, see, you might like to, wow, I want to go up here today. That's feeling good. Everyone will build strength at a different point, and you'll build different strength on different days. So you're building strength in the standing leg, and now practicing moving with full body awareness. Give it a try on that other leg. You can keep the toe down, rotate from the hip, out, in, and around. You may want to carry that movement up. Notice that my upper body is very still. I'm not doing any of these or that. Everything is focused. Doesn't seem like you're building strength, right? Because you're not pumping iron, but ooh, you are. Universal strength, the kind of strength you'll have always. And then slow that movement down. Turn to the standing position. Now let's cultivate stillness in the body, which can build a lot of strength by coordinating all the activities of the body. Once again, feet reaching into the floor. Crown of the head rising up as if it could float up and get taller like the top of a tree. So the whole body is moving in opposition. Arms and shoulders are relaxed. Belly is soft. The breathing is soft and natural. Gaze is still on your point of focus. Stand in this stillness, but notice the parts of your body that are moving. The subtle movement of breath. The subtle shifting of weight. See where you can relax the body so that you're standing with total ease, conserving your energy, yet drawing even more in through your focused gaze. Take a breath in Then a slow, emptying breath. Then simply rock back and forth a little bit on the feet, give a little wiggle, and that's it. You can probably imagine that you can do this little standing practice anywhere. My favorite place to practice it is at the grocery store. I'm in line, and instead of sitting there going on the smartphone or looking around, judging other people, or getting distracted or thinking about what I'm going to do next, my hands on the cart, I get my feet rooted, I find something cool to look at, I lengthen through the crown of the head, and standing there in line at the grocery store, I can align my posture and give my body a mini break, but also a boost of energy because I'm drawing my gaze to something that will fuel me rather than deplete me. So use your gaze. Think about how you're using your gaze throughout the day. Is it helping you conserve your prana, your energy? Is it depleting your energy, or is it feeding you with energy? Look at images and objects that feed you energy and build strength in the body by directing the gaze towards an object in the natural world, holding it steady there, and by doing a few simple movements. In doing that way, you're really building a kind of strength that will always be with you and help you with your higher goals in life. Then if you want to do athletic moves and do more vigorous yoga or, play tennis or run around with the grandkids, your body will have that natural pattern of moving with strength and focus from the inside out. And that technique can be applied anywhere in your life. It's really like cross-training for your brain, your mind, and your spirit. So I hope this served you. Please keep practicing. Let me know, as always, if you have any questions. I have a ton of live classes that I teach that I'd love to see you there if you think this was cool. I think it's even cooler when we can interact and I can be like, yo, move your hip a little bit to the right. Oh, hang on, try this, try that. I love doing that kind of teaching where we can go back and forth a little bit. So check it all out over at GitaBrown.com. I have morning yoga with Gita. I've got a strength builder series for the summer of 2021. All kinds of great stuff. Check it out. Otherwise, I hope to see you here. Like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Lots of peace and joy, love and light to you, my friend. Om Shanti. Peace. Bye-bye.